Good morning, everyone. My name is D. Yvonne Rivers. I'm your host for Birth Moms Real Talk podcast. Today is December 11th, 2021. Over a year ago, on November 29th, I was listening to Damon Davis. Shout out to you, Damon, on Who Am I Really podcast. And there was a birth mom on his podcast. I think probably the first one he's had other than adoptees, because he's a male adoptee who has this podcast for the past 5 years. And when I listened to that episode, I immediately emailed Damon and I said, I'm the birth mom who's going to start a podcast because it's needed. Because it's needed. Just to give you a little history, that I placed my son in adoption in 1973 and was in reunion with him beginning in 2018. So for that 2 years, maybe 2018 and 2020, in many rooms, even before I found my son, many rooms with birth moms or adoptees or the triad or the constellation and so forth. And so many times it was people were saying, well, you're moving forward, you're getting over it. And now that you found your son, everything is fine. And I say they are the people who are not in the constellation or in the adoption community. And the perception has been is the fact when you reunion and you meet your child, that everything is just back in place and so fine. That is not the case. That is not the case. I'm grateful. Hallelujah. But yet and still, it's a process of love. It's a process and a labor of love. And listening to that podcast, that really let me know that was one of the things that I needed to start. So started working with Damon November 29th. Birth Moms Real Talk podcast launched June 26th, 2021. We've launched our 18th episode this morning. So listen to Madison and saying yes to yourself. And that's what I'm going to encourage all of you to do in 2022. Say yes. Say yes to yourself. Say yes, I'm going to heal. Say yes, I'm going to go through this reunion and I'm going to deal with my mom, my dad, whomever is in your life. I'm going to forgive to heal. All of those are things we need to do. And this is now season one. Season one, we started June 26th. So this is episode 18. We launched today. So this is the finale of season one. We're moving into season two, and I'm taking a break between now and mid-January. Birth Moms Real Talk Village, we've got things going on. So you need to join that. We're going to have our first Zoom next Wednesday, December 15th. So I really want to make sure that you have an opportunity to join that. So we're going to put that up. If you see, you can join in our private Zoom by joining the village. And that will be next Wednesday, I think the 15th of December with that. So along with it, as we talk about each particular week, we come on with a Saturday chat. I am just blown away. We've had over 5,000 episodes downloaded. We have actually reached, according to analytics, over 200,000 people have been reached through Birth Moms Real Talk. I had nothing to do with it. I just came on and talked. This is not only my vision, this is my purpose and why I'm here. And really, this itself is really letting people listen in to this podcast, like the ear up to the window. So many times society, people not involved with adoption, even getting questions like, what is a birth mom? How did you find your son? How is reunion? What's the difference between open and closed adoption? All those are questions that society will say. And a lot of times they don't understand. You may be in reunion with your child, but they don't understand how that's progressing. And I have to say, today is December 11th. My birthday is December 23rd. And so I am celebrating the whole month. So even though I will not be on the podcast, I will be celebrating a lot of things to do because I celebrate self, because I deserve the best, because we all deserve the best. And I've learned how to give that self-care to us, to myself, to be able to do that. All right, I'm working this myself now. Okay. So along with it, let me get myself straight. Take one down and put another one up. Okay. Let's do that. Alrighty. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Change one to the other. Okay, as we work with that. So along with it is the fact these episodes. So we need your support. We need your support. I'm gonna try to put this on the screen so you'll see it. We're asking for you to support us if you've been helped, if you just have just enjoyed listening to all of these. We need your support to really show us and give us. So you see scrolling through there. If you want to support, we have Cash App, and Phoebe DC is my corporate. Phoebe Marketing Group is my corporate account with that. Please support us with a one-time donation, or not just one time, but continue on with that. So along with it, as we're saying, that we want to really bring in 2022 with our second season. First of all, I want to thank all our Birth Moms Real Talk Village members who've joined, that got the support, that just got their welcome packages. You may have seen it on the Facebook group. We have a private Facebook. We're doing our first Zoom. We're going to have Birth Mom Buddies, birth book clubs. I even got a book that was sent to me in the mail, unsolicited, to do a review on it with that. So we'll have Author's Corner. So those of you who are writing books, you may want to get involved with the village, that there are topical discussions. You know, we talk about different discussions, from forgiveness to healing to grief to trauma. And you know what? We can't do this alone. We're all in this together. So we have Birth Mom Buddies. Now, I say that because a lot of times birth moms maybe, and I had this to happen this week. This week, someone sent, I think, to me on Messenger or whatever. It's a birth mom who had never met another birth mom. Now, I've seen this before, but some years ago. And I encouraged her to listen, because she said she had never met, never knew, had no clue about other birth moms other than themselves. This is what this village will do for you, because you may be attending support groups now. You may also be once a month or whatever particular time, and you can find them all around, especially virtual since the pandemic and all of that. But I ask yourself, do you need more than that? Do you need more? Meaning that someone who you can be connected to and stay connected to with that, and have a buddy there to talk through. You may need to know people who really are your same circumstance. Meaning, are you an open adoption, closed adoption? Maybe you have children. Maybe you do not have children. Maybe you had placed your child and then had children afterwards. You want to talk to a mom who's done that. Those are all things that we can bring together with the village, because, as I say, you've heard me say, this is a platform for healing, for addressing grief, for addressing trauma, for addressing empowerment. Now, empowerment comes when you believe in yourself to take that next step and walk through this. This is not easy. Anyone who tells you that, just like we have heard, and a lot of us heard, oh, move on, you can just forget. You never forget. That's a birth bond you had with your child. There's no forgetting with that. There are a lot of women are in trauma, and maybe that's why they may have an issue of meeting their child, or the child is an adoptee meeting their parents. All of that happens. But what I have found, that so many times people just don't talk about it. It's the secrets. And that's why the title, Birth Moms Real Talk. Real Talk. We talk about things that other people will not dare touch. They will not dare touch it. But meanwhile, it's that undercurrent, the elephant in the room. They don't want to talk about it. It's the dysfunction, it's the secrets and so forth. And you continue to do the same thing. And guess what? When you continue to do the same thing, you're going to get the same results. So if you want to change, you need to make a change along with that. So I just wanted to come on today, just give you for his greetings. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for those of you who have listened in, have downloaded our podcast, have looked at our Saturday chats. Because a lot of times our Saturday chats like this, because it goes on the website, goes on the Facebook, Birth Moms Real Talk Facebook page, and people will viewing this video, not only this week, but continue or whatever. So for the past 6 months, June 26th to now today, December 11th, we have launched 18 episodes, over 5,000 downloads. I'm blown away. I just thank you. I know it's needed. I knew it was needed. The numbers show me that it's needed. The numbers show me that you want this. I want you to help us continue to do that. And actually by sending in Cash App to Phoebe DC, PHOEBE, capital P, DC is scrolling on the screen. With that, that helps us because my commitment to being that or putting that platform out here has been my commitment of my labor of love and time, but it's also been my labor and commitment of my pocketbook and funds. It's worth it. It's worth every dime I've put into it. We want your support because it can be all of us. Our Birth Moms Real Talk Village had paid membership and they are supporting. We're having awesome things. The welcome package came. Some were sending videos as they pull out their mugs, their bright bags and cocoa and cider. So we're going to be having a great time. And if you don't have that village, and a lot of us don't, join the village. Join the village. We want to hear some comments about people. Just put it in the comments. We'll put it on the screen with that. The second thing I just want to shortly, briefly talk about. One thing you'll know about me if you don't know already is that I'm that voice, and I'm not afraid to use my voice. And I just want just straight with the comments that a Supreme Court justice said, and relating to termination of pregnancy versus placing for adoption. Those are two different solutions. And it's not really a solution, either one. It's not, you hear me? It's not really a solution, either one. I personally, as a believer, do not support adoption, abortion, or termination of pregnancy. But you can't compare both of them and say, oh, if not this, not that. If not this, that. I'm so blessed to live in the United States of America. So I've traveled around the world, and I know a lot of people do not have the rights we do. We all have the right of speech, free speech with it. And I can state my opinion about what I believe. And I'm always open for a dialogue. That's why I make an open invitation to Justice Barrett to join Birth Moms Real Talk. We're out here. We're doing things not only here just on the podcast, but we'll be traveling in 2022. We have the Birth Moms Real Talk tour we'll be doing, and our village is going to be talking about that on Wednesday on where. Right now, we've got people who've tuned in. Not only tune in, but guests we've had. Go back and look at the 18 different episodes we've got, from New York to Alaska to California to Wyoming, Ohio, Indiana, New York, Virginia, South Carolina, Florida. It's all over the United States, and I'm getting good traction and globally. Actually, Australia, believe it or not, is the second in turn with listeners after U.S. third, actually, after U.S., Canada, and Australia. So maybe I need to go to Australia in 2022. But thank you. This is the end of season 1, episode 18. We're starting season 2 mid-January. Thank you for those of you who supported me. Thanks for those who have prayed. Thank you for those who just encouraged and told others about it. Thank you for those of you who are some adoptees have told other birth moms. We had, and go back and listen to the Saturday chat on the Facebook where we had the triad on. We had adoptees, birth moms, and adoptive moms. That was a dialogue because we all come with our own perspective, but you really gain when you get and hear the dialogue of others with it. So we really thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you so much for just being there. We look forward to continue with you in 2022. Have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, all that you celebrate. Love yourself and say yes to yourself. Give yourself. Don't depend on what others will give you with gifts. Give your own gift. Buy yourself flowers. Talk to yourself and say you're wonderful and great, because you are. We are in this together. There's an African proverb called Ubuntu, Ubuntu. I am because we are. I am because we are. Takes the two of us. Just like nature and nurture regarding adoption, it takes both. Takes both. You get the DNA from the nature, but that nurturing you get from the nurture. I like to say that I gave life, but he learned life with his parents. So this is the Yvonne Rivers, host of Birth Moms Real Talk. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for awesome season 1. Listen to the podcast over and over. Comment, send us comments, post comments, and give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. That's our biggest platform that people listen in, but it helps other people to know more about us and what we're doing with that. So share with others, share the story, because a lot of people don't really see in and have no clue. They may know of people who've been adopted and so forth, but they don't know the real story until they hear the real story. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed holiday, Merry Christmas, and the rest of the year. And we'll see you in 2022.